Okay, let's try this again. Hi, my name's Denali, aka Midnight Makes. This is my little corner of the internet where I talk about what I happen to be making. Usually that's knitting, sewing, cross stitching, some crochet. I mean, there's other things as well. I am also a tatter, a shuttle tatter, and you know, I tend to pick up hobbies for fun. This is the second time I've tried recording this. I recorded it earlier and I put it on my computer and I looked like a sickly Victorian child that died like a couple hundred years ago. So I have not been sleeping too well. Vacation is quick approaching, so my regular insomnia is being added to with anxiety about the trip, which I really have no reason to be anxious, but I have anxiety and that's why I take meds for it. But today I forgot to mention this. What I'm doing right now, this video is my knitting update. I don't have any crochet or anything like that. It's just knitting. And I have a bunch of finishes in the month since I filmed last. I have gotten quite a bit done. So as for what I'm wearing today, I have earrings that I got at some shop years ago, and I'm not wearing anything me made, but I am wearing this super cute Philippines shirt. My husband's coworker is originally from the Philippines, and she goes over regularly to visit family, and last time she brought us back a bunch of candies and snacks to try, and this year she brought back t-shirts. So let's start with finished objects, and my finished objects are not going to be in order just because I don't remember when I finished them. Somebody's outside the window. My first two finishes were on, if you watched my whip graveyard video, if not, I'll link it below. But these two projects came from it, and the first was this scrappy hat. This is just a basic beanie. There's random threads on it. It's just a basic beanie. I think like 100 stitches on, I don't know what needle. But I grabbed the yarn from my scrap bin. This light color is Woolen Vinyl Werewolves of London. I knit my dad a hat out of this color. And then the black is the Knit Picks Hawthorne fingering in their kettle dye, and I think it was Blackbird is the color. It's whatever their black is. This is one of my favorite heathered blacks to work with. I have done multiple projects with it, multiple sweaters, including one you'll see in a little bit. My next that came from the Whip Graveyard video is my Sailor Swift tank top from Kutivakika or Veronica Lindbergh. I had the entire body done. All I had to do was pick up and knit the sleeve openings and the collar. But if you did watch my video, you would know that I couldn't find my yarn. I finally found it, and instead of picking up stitches and doing an I-cord bind off, because I just did not want to, on the sleeves, I did a single crochet border and just one row on each sleeve, and then, or not sleeve, armhole. And then for the collar, I did 2 rows of single crochet, and instead of having a round opening, I wanted a little squared off opening. So I decreased at each side of the front to give it a more squared neckline. I have not worn this since I finished it, but I'm glad it's finally done, and it's cotton, so it'll be a fun wear this summer. And it is, I did modification from the pattern. I did crop it because I like to wear high-waisted pants and skirts and jeans and shorts, so I prefer my tank tops to be cropped. So the yarn is from Premier. I think I got it at Michael's. I don't know the colorways. It's this purple and black. It's been a long time since I bought that yarn. I mean, I did the body of this last summer. So I don't know what the yarn is anymore, but it's from Premier. You used to be able to get it at Michael's. I think Michael's. I haven't seen it at least at my Michael's in a while. So I don't know if it's still available, but I know that the last time I was on the Premier website, that you could order it online. Okay. My next finish was a test knit, and this is the 13 dot dash vest from Eleanor Alice Knitwear. I had the pleasure of test knitting this one, and I absolutely love the way it came out. It has this amazing texture to it. And it's so pretty. And there's an applied I-cord edging and all this with a V-neck. I absolutely love the way this turned out. And I did do 2 different shades of purple, which is, I mean, you can tell this is more of a duller shade, and this is more of a purple, brighter color. You can kind of see it. Only modification I made to this pattern was to crop it, again, high-waisted shorts. And this pattern is out now, so you can get your hands on it if you're interested in knitting it. And like I said, I absolutely love the texture. I love the texture of this one, and it was a super simple pattern. I gotta say, the getting to the body portion took a little bit of brain, but it's really not that hard. The only thing I will warn you if you decide to pick up this pattern is there are so many ends to weave in. Oh my god, that was a lot, but it was worth it in the end. And I did it. I sewed them all in. They're all done, so I don't have to worry about them anymore. Okay, my next finish is the Party Line scarf by Katie. I think her name's Katie. Oh my god, it's blanking. From Young Folk Knits. She's on YouTube. And this one was such a fun, quick knit. I forgot. Okay, hang on. backing up. The yarn that I used for this is Every Shine Wool. I ordered this online. I don't remember where from. And the color number was never printed on there. So I have no idea what either of these colors is. But they're pretty. So I will deal with it. Okay. So back to this. This is the Party Line scarf. I knit it in this ombre yarn, and a modification that I made to this is I added repeats in the center line just to make it longer, because I plan to wear this like this as a headscarf, and I wanted something a little bit longer that I could have some tails on it. So I did add length, and I love this yarn. This yarn is Freya Fine Hand Paints. It's a sport weight yarn, 100% wool, and they're all ombre cakes like this. I lost the ball band like years ago to this one, but it's this one. I used to get it at one of the yarn shops that I used to shop at, but it's gone now, so I don't know where you can get it. I'm sure if you look it up online you can find it, but I love this one. It went from yellow, this I think this is considered chartreuse. Kind of looks like Shrek's snot, which I've heard somebody else say that on YouTube before, and I thought it was apt. And then it goes to a darker green. There was also a blue, but by the time I was finished knitting this, I had not reached the blue yet. But I love the way this one turned out, and I think it'll be perfect as a headscarf. My next finish is the, let me see how I can show it. This is the I don't remember the name of the pattern. What? Angel Face. It's the Angel Face turban from Poison Girls. This is like a 40s, 50s inspired turban pattern, and I absolutely love it. I will put it on. Harder than my mouth. I love this one so much. It turned out so good. I have worn it a couple times since I finished it and blocked it, and it looks super cute with my hair down. It also looks good with my hair up, and I had it, there's a slit right here, and I had my hair in a pretty high loose bun, and it looked super cute. But I love it this way as well. My bow is a little droopy because it's been tied like this for a while. I'm not going to retie it because it took me forever to get it right. But I love this one. This yarn is an unknown from my stash. No, not my stash, my scrap bin. I use this as a accent color on a pair of colorwork socks, so I had a good chunk of the yarn left. And when I wanted to knit this turban, I went diving into my scrap bin, which I'm trying to work my way through my scrap bin because I have so many and it's starting to overflow the bin. But I love this color. I do want to make some that are a little more everyday wearable, but again, I really don't care about what colors are everyday wearable. So Okay, my next finish is a little finish, and this is the Victory Mail brooch from Sydney Craybaugh. She just got married a couple months ago. Sydney Rosewick is her new last name. But it's from the Squid School of Vintage Knitting. You have to be in her Patreon to get her patterns. And this is the little brooch. It is open. It's a functioning little envelope. You can keep little treasures in there or stitch markers. And a button. Let me button it back up. And there it is, all buttoned up. This is another mystery yarn from my scrap bin, and the button is a vintage button from my button stash, which is up there. I have a box, and then I also have another bin because my box, it actually used to be my mom's sewing baskets, and it is full. So I had to add a little bin right beside it. But I love the little, I have no idea where this button came from. I'm trying to hold it. I shake too much to be able to hold things still. But I absolutely love this. This is super cute. I love brooches. And Sydney has a couple others, and I will definitely be making her brooches, the other brooches as well. Okay, so my next finish is a 1950s sweater pattern. It is originally published in the 1950s. However, Subversive Femme, Bex at Subversive Femme, has rewritten it to give it a little bit more information. You can find both the original pattern and her written pattern on her website in her Curvy Month blog, because this fits bearer sizes. And it is the MAME sweater. So like I said, it is a 50s, so it has the 50s silhouette where the sleeves are built in. It is, the pattern is originally a single color pattern. However, I decided to add some color work just as interest. It's really nothing major. I did, the back is all black, except for the hem. The ribbing on the hem is done in this pink yarn. I did some 1x1 color work, did black, more 1x1 color work, did the pink, and then I did a larger section of the 1x1 color work. I absolutely love 1x1 color work. I love the way it looks, and I love that it is less of a pain in the butt to get your tension even. And then I did the last row and then the bind off in the pink. And I really love the way this one turned out. I want to pair this with some 1950s cigarette pants, and I want them to be in like black. And I don't have them. I'm going to sew them. I have a pattern to sew them. I just don't have the fabric. I have a crap ton of fabric, but of course none of it is the exact fabric that I need. But eventually I will get it. Until then, this looks super cute over a black skirt. Or my 1940s trousers as well. It looks adorable. And it has a folded over knit edge that you sew down, and like all vintage patterns, this is knit flat and then you seam it together. Which my seaming is getting better every vintage pattern that I do, which thankful for, because my seaming was crap not too long ago. But I absolutely love the way this one turned out. I will definitely be wearing this constantly. Like I said, you can find the pattern on Subversive Femme in her blog posts for Curvy Month. This was one of the ones that she rewrote. But if you go on to her Curvy Month, she has a bunch that she hasn't rewritten. And they're all of, the original vintage pattern. Okay. The yarn for this is Hawthorne Fingering in Blackbird is the black, and then I don't know what the pink is, but it is the same yarn. It's just a pink. So my last finished object is probably my most favorite knit ever. And that is my Carmen Miranda jumper from Sydney at Squid Knits. So Sydney modeled the pattern that she wrote on a jumper that Carmen Miranda wore in a couple photo shoots. And hers was white and lighter colors. But I wanted dark with the neons. And I absolutely love the way this turned out. You do intarsia for the color work. It's knit flats. This is a modern pattern, but it's, vintage inspired, so it's got the vintage silhouette. And I know it looks small, but it does fit me. It's just that 1940s silhouette where it's rather tight and it goes to your waist, and then you wear it with high-waisted pants or skirt. But I absolutely love this so much. There is a keyhole opening at the back with 2 buttons. Let's try that again. So the black is a cone of Knit Picks palette in the color black. I think it's black. I don't know if there's a name for it. I bought 2 of the cones off of Knit Picks. I think they're $45 each, which you get, like 1,000 yards of yarn. I can't remember exactly how much it is, but for me it was worth it. And I definitely plan on getting more. I have this black one, and then I also have a darker purple. So that's the black yarn. The other yarns, let me get out my tags. So this neon highlighter yellow is La Bien-Aimée in the BFL Tough Sock in the color Buzz. And then the purple and pink are both Wild Atlantic yarns in the base. Okay, this is an Irish dyer from Ireland, obviously. And I had to pronounce that, so I'm not even going to try, but that's the base. And the colors are Bluebell and Wild Rose. And all these yarns, the La Bien-Aimée and the Wild Atlantic yarns, skeins, I got at Yarn Over in Fairbanks, Alaska. I think I got it last summer. And then lastly, the buttons, which are these black, beautiful black flowers with little white or gold. It's the center of the, don't remember what the center of a flower is called, but you know, little gold things. I got these on Amazon. I got a big bag of them. They're from this company, made in China, so I'm sure since I got this, they're way more expensive because tariffs. Ugh. And I got a big bag because I have another project that's going to use these, plus I wanted some extras for other things. But like I said, this is probably my favorite knit ever. I plan to pair it with black high-waisted trousers or a black skirt. There are many ways I can pair this. I definitely, because it is very bright, the color work is, I would definitely wear this with more subtle, you know, black pants or a black skirt, just because it is very, very bright. So that is all my whips. Next we are going to go into, nope. That is all my finishes. Next, we're going to go into my whips. And I only have one whip, so my whip. So today is January 8th, which is a Sunday. And on the 1st, Sydney from Squid Knits, released her new Patreon pattern. She releases one a month at the beginning of the month. And this month's pattern was this beautiful boudoir bed jacket. It's based on the 1940s and 50s bed jackets. I actually believe I think it's based on an actual pattern, either pattern or a picture that she saw. And I've wanted a bed jacket. I have a 1940s knitting for the home book. It's like an original 1940s book, so it's very vintage, very gorgeous, very musty, old smelling, but I don't care. It's beautiful. It's sitting, you can't see it, there's a shelf over there that I keep my vintage knitting and sewing books. I have a couple vintage sewing books on there as well. But I've wanted a bed jacket, and there's been patterns in there. I just haven't gotten around to it. But then Sydney released this one, and I absolutely love this pattern. The colors are a little off in the picture because my printer is running out of color ink, and I refuse to put color ink in until it's like screaming at me, because most of what I print is patterns that are black and white or sewing patterns that have no color. They're just the lines for the sewing pattern. But this has a beautiful lace texture on the body and the sleeves, and then the yoke is a ribbing. What was I gonna say? So I don't, if you haven't done a Squid Knits pattern, these are absolutely size inclusive. It does not matter what body shape you are, anything, it's gonna fit you. And the reason for that is because she doesn't give you the numbers. There's no cast on this many stitches or increase this many stitches. That's not how her patterns work. Her patterns, you have to do math, but it's simple math. She gives you body measurement charts, and then there's also a extra calculations chart for each project if it needs extra calculations. But the math is super simple for, you know, how many stitches I need. It's my bust, which is 40 inches. I wanted it 1 inch of ease. And it's another thing about our patterns. You can choose your ease. If you want it to be baggier, if you want it to be tighter, you get to make that decision. And then my gauge is 5 stitches per inch in the lace stitching. So it's 40 plus 1 times 5, which gets me to 205. I was reading that backwards. It's the same frontwards as it is backwards. So it's super simple. She walks you through how to do everything, and it's really not that hard. Like I said, the math is easy, and it's math that you can just write down, and if you don't want to do it in your head, use a calculator. But I love her patterns because of that. So for the yarn for this one, it's a new yarn. This is one I've been wanting to try, and that is Drops Cotton Merino, and this is the color 15. I guess they don't have color numbers. And I've been wanting to try this because I have some sensory issues. I don't have an allergy to wool, but sometimes if I'm overstimulated or just, you know, not having a good day, it is very itchy on my skin and I have to get it off. And because of that, I can't always wear my knits, or I will start the day wearing my knits, something will happen and I have to take it off. So, I wanted to try this because I've heard that it's a lot better for sensitive skin, or for like me who needs a sensory calm down sometimes. Especially as this is a bed jacket, so it's supposed to be worn at night. One thing I have noticed, I don't know if you can tell, but the yarn is very loosely wound, loosely spun, which not that big of a deal, but oh my god, it splits like a mother. And when you're working center double decreases and knit 2 togethers and the yarn splits and then you have to go undo it and redo it, it's a pain in my ass. But it is turning out so gorgeous. So this is what I have so far. It's not much. I think I have probably 4 inches, maybe 4.5, 5 inches. And I'm just working on the lace. You start bottom up on this one, and the lace is so pretty, and it makes these little spiky scalloped edging, which is beautiful. And this is a super simple pattern repeat. It's a 4-row repeat. It's incredibly easy to remember, and I have gotten to the point where I mean, after probably the first 4 rows, I didn't need the pattern anymore. I just smacked myself. I didn't need the pattern anymore, which is nice because I have plans, which I'll talk about that in the next part. But this has been not only a super fun knit, and it keeps my interest, but it's also easy to do. I can do it while watching TV or movies. I can do it in bed, low light, before I go to sleep. I think I did like a couple of repeats last night when I could not sleep, and I had very little light on because my husband was asleep. So this is coming out beautifully. Sydney gives you the option of doing a cropped version or a longer version, like hip length, and I'm doing the hip length one, so I need to at least double this. I think I need 10 inches. But I'm just plucking away with it, and I love it. And I do love the yarn, even though it's splitty as all hell. But I'm dealing with it, and I'm paying attention to make sure that I don't split stitches. And then if I do, I go back and fix them, because I don't want it to look weird. So that's my only whip. And the reason why I only have one whip at the moment is because we are going on vacation, which I mentioned is why my anxiety is absolutely crazy. It is Sunday, 7 p.m. Sunday night, and we leave on Wednesday at night, and we're going to be gone for 2 weeks. So I'm trying to decide. It took me actually a good chunk of time to decide what patterns I was going to bring. I'm definitely bringing the bed jackets, and I'm super excited to work on that. We fly at night, and we have pretty long flights. Perks of being in Alaska, you have to take a pretty long flight just to get out of it. Unless you're going to Canada, then it's like right there. But we have a pretty long flight. I don't sleep on planes, and I'm having issues with my sciatic nerve, so I definitely won't be sleeping on the plane, because it freaking hurts to sit for long periods of time, which is why I keep shifting. So I need something that I can knit that is easy, that's going to keep me entertained. I already have a bunch of audiobooks downloaded onto my phone, so I have that, but I need something that's going to keep me entertained, but also something that I don't have to think too much, and I don't need a lot of light, because as I said, we'll be flying at night, so there won't be a lot of light on the plane. So that's my first project that I'm taking with me, and I decided I'm going to take 2 more with me. I want to make sure that I have enough to keep me busy and entertained, but also enough, to do the entire time. But I also don't want to bring too many projects, because we have a limited suitcase space, and I plan to buy some yarn while we're there. So the first bonus project that I'm bringing is the Carrie's Kerchief by Sydney from Squid School. This is a 50s style kerchief. It can be worn around the neck, or it can be worn around the head like that. It's gorgeous. I've been wanting to knit it for a while, and I've had this pattern printed for a while. I just haven't gotten around to it. The yarn that I'm going to use for the kerchief is this absolutely stunning yarn. This is yarn from Crow and Crescents. This is in her Callisto sock, and the color is Nocturnal, and it is this absolutely gorgeous dark deep blue. I love it so much. I love her colors. She has a lot of deep dark colors. She has a very beautiful green that I want desperately to knit. I know exactly what vintage sweater I'm going to knit. the deep green color that she has. I'm just waiting, because I am on a self-imposed yarn buying ban, because we're going on vacation, and I am planning to buy yarn. But I absolutely love this yarn. It's going to be a beautiful kerchief. So that is that project. And then the last project that I'm bringing is the second part to my Carmen Miranda twin set. So the Carmen Miranda jumper also comes with a cardigan. Twin sets were really big, 50s, 40s. I don't know other decades. Definitely in the 50s and 40s. And I have always wanted to knit a twin set, but never really had the time. But I'm going to do it this time. So this is the Technicolor cardigan, which goes with the Carmen Miranda jumper. Again, my ink is dying, so there's random stripes. But it is a single color cardigan with color work on the, not the hem, but like the lower area. And then at the cuffs. And obviously I will be using the same exact yarn as I did for the Carmen Miranda jumper. I'm going to be doing black as my main color again, with my bright colors as the color work, and then the buttons will be the same as on the keyhole opening of my Carmen Miranda jumper. So those are my 3 projects that I'm taking with us. Again, we have a pretty long flight, and I love to sit and knit. I love to have something to knit while I'm talking to people, because I listen better when I am knitting, because it keeps my brain kind of focused on something so that I can focus on somebody else's, what they're talking about, which I know that's not a lot of people's thing, but I need something to help me focus on what people are saying, because other times my brain goes and I will forget to listen. I have often, my son will say something to me, and then I have to say, dude, you gotta repeat yourself. I forgot to listen. He knows what that means, and unfortunately it happens a lot. So I like to have things in my hands doing, because then I can focus better. So that's all I have. Like I said, I'm going to do a little bit of yarn shopping. Not too much. What I am thinking about doing is each shop that we go to, because there's a shop in Everett, there's one in Grand Haven. We're going to Michigan. I forgot to mention that. There's one in Everett that we're planning to go to, which actually we went to last year. And then we're going over to Grand Haven because there's a restaurant. It's called The Toasted Pickle. I love pickles. I need to go. Also, they have a really cool lighthouse in Grand Haven. So we're going to go over there. And there's quite a few yarn shops in the vicinity. And then we're also probably be going up to the UP as well. And I don't know if there's yarn shops up there, but we will hit as many as we can. But my goal, what I was kind of thinking was I could get one skein of yarn from each and then do like a colorwork cardigan or a colorwork jumper, 40s or 50s, because that's what I'm doing right now. And then kind of have it as this is my Michigan 2025 jumper, with all the yarn and everything. So, that's all I've got today. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this, please leave a thumbs up. You can comment about what you're making. I'd love to know what everybody else is making. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. Okay, bye.